Watching Alabama's WVUA News at 5 with your award-winning news team, Lynn Brooks, Terry Brewer, weather with Richard Scott, and sports with Gary Harris.
We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm Lynn Brooks.
And I'm Terry Brewer. Up first tonight, sad news for the city of Tuscaloosa. The death toll from the April 27th tornado is still growing.
Tuscaloosa city officials say another person has died. That brings the death toll now to 52.
Details is in our top story at 5 o'clock. According to the mayor's office, 50-year-old Samuel Brassfield has now been added to the list of storm victims. Brassfield died September 16th from injuries he suffered during the storms on April 27th. Officials say as the weeks pass, the number of deaths attributed to the storm may increase.
Now that major portions of Alabama's new immigration law have been upheld, law enforcement officials around West Alabama are having to be retrained to enforce the law. Tuscaloosa police officials say they plan to meet with the city attorney to find out exactly what the law requires and what it prohibits. Authorities say next week the police department will start training its officers to enforce the new law. Police Chief Steve Anderson says he hopes the officers can still build community relationships while enforcing the law.
We're going to still continue to make inroads and develop a great relationship with the Hispanic community while at the same time making sure that we're in compliance with the law that has now been passed by the state of Alabama.
Anderson says the law is very complicated and it will take some time before his officers are fully trained.
Alabama U.S. Senator Richard Shelby is weighing in on the controversial immigration law. He made a stop in Tuscaloosa today to speak to small business owners about creating jobs in West Alabama. After the meeting, he told reporters he feels immigration should be a job for the federal government. He says states are getting involved because Congress is not doing its job.
We should enforce our laws. We don't. That's what prompted the states to get into this. It should be done on a federal level. We should protect our borders. We should know who comes into this country legally and illegally, and we don't.
Officials say both sides are likely to appeal the federal court's ruling. So what does all this mean for you? Coming up later at 5, an immigration attorney will join us live in studio to break it all down for you.
Alabama drivers will soon have a new, more secure driver's license. It's part of a new program called STAR ID. That stands for secure, trusted, and reliable. Governor Bentley says it's designed to comply with federal requirements for more secure identification. The STAR ID licenses will only be issued at driver license examining offices. Officials say they will be available statewide after the start of the year.
On your Health Watch, fighting the flu, and it's as easy as hopping in the car and rolling down the window. That's because Tuscaloosa County's health department hosted a drive-through flu clinic. Drivers pulled into Bowers Park and got their flu vaccinations all from the comfort of their car. Health experts say everyone 6 months and older should get a flu vaccine every year.
Because we're entering into our flu season, and each year there are numerous people that die from the flu. So we encourage you to come by. We try to make it as convenient as possible now.
Experts say flu season typically runs from October until May.
And even police officers go and get those flu shots. Well, a frantic scene is how Michael Jackson's bodyguard described what was happening the day the pop star died. We have pictures of Michael Jackson's bedroom after he died. Jackson's bodyguard, Alberto Alvarez, said when he entered the room, Jackson's doctor, Conrad Murray, told him to hide medicine vials before calling 911. Murray is on trial, accused of giving Jackson a lethal dose of the anesthetic propofol, but Murray's defense claims Jackson gave himself that medication. Alvarez says when he got to the scene, Murray asked him for help because he did not know how to perform CPR.
Dr. Conrad Murray asked if anyone knew CPR.
Okay. And in response to Dr. Murray's question whether anyone knew CPR, what, if anything, did you do, Mr. Alvarez?
Me and Fahim, actually, we kind of looked at each other for a split second, and I turned and went to assist Dr. Conrad Murray to do CPR.
Murray has pleaded not guilty to involuntary manslaughter. If convicted, he could spend 4 years in a California prison and lose his medical license.
Parents out there might want to check the toy box. That's because more than 1 million toys are now on the recall list. Little Tikes has recalled more than 1 million of its workshop and tool set toys. The recall focuses on plastic toy nails sold in tool sets. Officials say they can be a choking hazard to young children. They were sold between 1990 and 2004. For more information, check out our website, WVUATV.com, then numbers and links.
From election 2012, new controversy over the presidential primaries. Florida wants to move their primary to January 31st. That move is controversial because it would start the nomination process a month earlier than leaders had hoped. If Florida's move is approved, it could make them a major player in deciding the GOP nominee. It would also likely force early states of Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, and Nevada to leapfrog Florida and move their primaries to early and mid-January. The commission is set to vote Friday. Here in West Alabama, time for Ferris wheels, funnel cakes, and Terry Brewer's favorite, candy apples.
My favorite. Of course, I like all food. We're talking about the West Alabama State Fair. All the fun starts tonight. Earlier, we got a chance to catch up with the crew putting the final touches on all the rides and, of course, the yummy food. Tonight, you can catch some of your home team out at the fair, including our own Lynn Brooks, Claire Huddleston, Danny Salter, and Richard Scott. Coming up later on WVUA News at 5, your chance to win 2 tickets to the fair. Stick around for that.